Hi and welcome. I'm so pleased today that I've got the opportunity to speak with a wonderful lady who's a prominent Polish member of our community in Hounslow, Irina Nowosielska. She's also a school governor at St. Mark's Catholic School. And I'm really looking forward to speak to her because what I know of Polish people is that they're hardworking and very honourable people. And that's what my experience has been. But let's delve more into and understanding more about the Polish community here in Hounslow.
Thank you so much for inviting me. My name is Irina Nowosielska, as you said, and I actually was born in Ukraine, later moved to Poland, so I could say that I'm not only Polish, that I'm like a representative of Eastern European as well, and I've got master's degree in international relations and European policy, and at the moment I'm working as an interpreter. And as well, I am actually one of the organizers of Polish-British Social Integration Club, promoting Polish people in here and integrating with wider society.
I've been very fortunate before the pandemic to attend one of your events, and I found them very festival, and the food was wonderful as well. That's terrific. What else has the club achieved recently?
We are helping a lot in local communities. So, for example, we are organizing silent disco for autistic children, or we organized fundraising for defibrillator, and last few months we've handed it to one of the local school. We organizing memorial run that is commemorated to Battle of Britain, a historical event, because along with this memorial run we are organizing some sort of historical exhibitions to learn our young members of community about British history.
You also prepared food parcels for stranded truck delivery drivers last year during the closure of French ports.
A real issue in Dover. We was all organized fundraising of food parcels, and we successfully delivered to a lot of drivers.
Closer to home, did you organize food parcels for members of the Polish community in Hounslow?
In April, during the first wave of COVID, so we've organized food parcel for some vulnerable people, for some those in need as well. For some, for example, single mom with children who, for example, lost their jobs, who didn't have access to some, I don't know, even for food banks. A lot of people even don't know that there is such thing as food banks, that they could actually go and ask for some help. And people were totally lost they didn't know how it all works, especially this language barrier, and that's why we've done through the Facebook some sort of guides in Russian, Ukrainian, Polish languages to help some people to cope with the new situation, the new challenges.
I'm really happy to learn that, because we saw that in the first pandemic, and even now, many communities from all backgrounds came together to look after those in need. Tell me more about how the Polish community has integrated into the wider society here.
I would say that comparing to the 2004 when you joined European Union, you made massive progress in terms of integrating with wider society. But I believe that it's still not enough. For Polish community, I think that there is still this actually missing part that for example, people do not know how council works, how they could approach council, what is the role of councillor, for example. So maybe that was one of the reasons why a lot of people left. For example, that sometimes people don't know where to ask help for vulnerable children, up to some entrepreneurs who do not know that there are, for example, startups, some grants for making for growing their business, and so on. Encourage them to do more if it comes to some community work to help in local communities all over Hounslow.
Well, there's plenty of opportunity if they want to get involved with the community cleanups, and I can help you with that. That's no problem. It's clear you have a good understanding of community engagement. Look, do we know how many Polish people are in Hounslow?
It's very difficult for me to say, because I was trying to find for some statistics, and it was so unclear. So I even can't exactly say how many Polish people. And take into account that a lot of left recent year or two. So I can't even give enough some exact number at the moment.
Okay, so that's a fair point. What about business? We know that the Polish are very entrepreneurial, and we know how hardworking they are, especially in the construction industry. So what else are they into?
It seems mainly in the moment that is emphasized on some building, on construction, companies, on some sort of opening Polish shops.
Which is probably how most people know and recognize the Polish people, not just honourable people, but work extremely hard. And that is well known.
Sometimes you are asking Polish builders to do the job. So that is really nice to hear.
Just changing tact slightly, during the Brexit referendum, and now that we've left the European Union, what was your experience?
I personally did not feel any sort of hate comments or something. At the moment, I believe that we are in multicultural society in London. I don't know how the situation is, outside London and further down in the country. But so far, it's so good. I didn't have any sort of, as I said, go home text or something.
Thank you for that. And then from Brexit to the pandemic, what are your reflections on this after 2 lockdowns and that people are still succumbing to the virus?
This pandemic made a lot of reflections on our lives, on our, existence, and we just, it seems to me, made some sort of real evaluation what is important, what is not, to make our own priorities.
What is the opinion of the Polish community about taking the vaccine if the doctor offers it?
The opinion are quite divided, but most of Polish people are quite skeptic about this because they believe they could be a victim of some sort of misleading information, that the main worry is actually a side effect of it, whether in such short period of time everything was properly tested and proved that it actually works. So it seems to me that is the main worry.
Anyway, listen,
really?
Thank you very much for your time today. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to speaking to you again.
Okay,
You're
bye.
welcome.
Bye.
All that's left for me to say is to remember to stay safe, keep your distance, wear your face masks, and continue to wash your hands. See you on the next video.